All right, everybody, what's happening? And welcome to today's edition of SWAC Talk, the show we cover the SWAC inside and out. Of course, I'm your tour guide, C Wells, and I'm coming at you to wrap up the postseason of SWAC basketball, NCAA Tournament, NCAA Women's Tournament, NIT first round action. Gonna recap all of that. We're gonna talk about some coaching hires that have been made in SWAC basketball, and we're gonna run through some spring game dates for football, and gonna chop it up a little bit about that, and we'll get deeper into football in the coming weeks. I'll probably do like a team preview for each team as they enter the spring practice or going through spring practice. I'll probably start doing that a little bit later on this in the coming weeks. So that's where we stand. So of course Wednesday, another edition of SWAC Talk. Thursday, SWAC Smoke Live as usual, and then Sunday, another edition of SWAC Talk. So we're back on our pretty much on our usual schedule, but that does not mean that you don't need to subscribe to the channel and hit that notification bell, because I could upload a video at any time I do videos at random moments. So if that's the case, then you don't want to miss out on any content that I put up. So just make sure to tune in and check that out and find out, what I got planned and when I'm gonna do what I do. So with that being said, the socials are on the screen down below, so make sure you check those out. And man, we're not gonna waste any of your time. We're gonna go ahead and jump into our content, man. We're gonna talk about a little SWAC basketball. The SWAC basketball season is at its completion, so we don't have any more basketball on the schedule. The final game took place last night. Jackson State took a 77-83 loss to LSU in the women's first round of the NCAA tournament. JSU actually had the lead in this game for a bit. They trailed LSU at the half, and then they outscored LSU by 14 points in the third quarter to take the lead and give themselves a good opportunity to find themselves in a position to win this game. But they could not get over the hump against LSU in the fourth quarter. A couple big plays here and there were the difference in this game, and Jackson State was unable to pull off the upset. But very solid season for JSU, as this was a team that, basically ran through the SWAC. Undefeated regular season SWAC tournament champs, and they really came to play in this game. They trailed LSU at the half by a score of 41-28, and then they went on a run in the third quarter to take a lead in this game, and they actually led at the end of the third quarter, 58-57. So they came from 13 points down in the third quarter alone to take the lead. I think at one point they trailed by 17. They trailed with 8 minutes and 44 seconds in the third quarter. They trailed 47-30 before they went on a run to take the lead. So they went on 18-point run to take the lead in this game. And then the fourth quarter, LSU kind of made their run and took a lead. It was back and forth. Jackson State actually led by 8 in the fourth quarter before LSU went on the run to close out the game. A couple of big calls here and there changed the momentum of the game, and JSU came up a bit short. But really good effort by the Lady Tigers. They played very, very hard against LSU and had an ultimate opportunity to win this game. But they were led by Maya Crump, who had 21 points, 5 rebounds, 2 assists, 1 steal, and 1 block. Misha Williams, 15 points, 12 rebounds, double-double for her, 2 blocks. And those were the only double-digit scores on the night. They got Woodard, 6 points, Covington, 9 points, Sims, 4, 7 for Luckett, 9 for Rogan, who had 2 rebounds, 6 rebounds for Sims, LaMiracle Sims, 6 rebounds, Woodard, 6 rebounds. JSU shot 36% from the field, 53% from 3, 65% from the free throw line. They had 46 rebounds, 11 assists, five steals, 4 blocks, and 15 turnovers. They committed 23 fouls. LSU was led by Pointer. She had 26 points and 9 rebounds, 8 assists, 4 steals. Cherry, 24 points, 2 rebounds. It was 3 rebounds, 2 assists, 1 steal, 2 blocks. 17 points for Afua. She had seven blocks, 14 rebounds. She had a double-double. 8 points off the bench for Morris. LSU shot 40% from the field, 22% from three, 67% from the free throw line. They have 42 rebounds. So Jackson State actually out-rebounded LSU in this game by 4, 18 assists, 10 steals, 9 blocks, 11 turnovers, and 20 fouls. Pretty good game. You know what I mean? This is, this other than a victory, this is kind of what you ask for in a first round matchup against a higher seeded team. You want to come out and play the best ball you can play, and then let the chips fall where they may. So that was a pretty strong effort by the JSU women's team. As usual, they closed out a very strong season, and they will be back. They have brought in some good recruits already, some transfers, so they'll keep an eye out on them. They won't be going away quietly. Coach Reed has a program brewing there, and that program is going to continue to get better game in and game out, year in and year out. So obviously I would say keep a close eye on this team. They're not going anywhere. We're going to jump over to the men's side, and we'll start with TSU and their move through the NCAA tournament. They opened up the tournament playing the first 4 game of the year against Texas A&M Corpus Christi, and TSU won this game 76-67. They led the game by 2 points at the half. And this was a game they had control of it for the most part, pretty much all game. Texas A&M Corpus Christi got off to an early start. Didn't take a huge lead, but they were able to kind of set the tempo the way they wanted it early and score and take an early lead. But TSU defense kept them close, rebounding, shot blocking, kept them close. And then they went on a run in the second half to take the lead. Corpus Christi kind of shifted away and got back into the game. And then TSU down the stretch was able to pull away to win this game by 9 points. Moshilla, who is Texas A&M Corpus Christi's leading scorer, he finished this game with 5 points on 2 of 7 shooting, 1 for 1 from 3 at 8 rebounds, 2 assists, 1 steal, and 2 turnovers. So TSU did a good job on him. Their Corpus Christi's leading scorer on the night was Tennyson. He had 18 points off the bench, 3 of 7 shooting, 7 of 13 from the field, 1 of 3 from the line, 4 rebounds for him, 1 steal, and 1 block. They also got 12 points from Fryer and 9 rebounds to lead the team, and 10 points for Murdix, who was their second leading scorer. He has 6 assists and 3 rebounds on the night. The Islanders shot 37% from the field, 38% from 3, and 47% from the free throw line. So not a good night shooting for them, especially from the line. TSU definitely had a hand in the shooting numbers from the field. Defensively, they did a great job against Texas A&M Corpus Christi. 37 rebounds for the Islanders, 17 assists, 9 steals, 3 blocks, 9 turnovers, and 22 fouls. Texas Southern was led on the night. All their double-digit scores came off the bench, so this is kind of a typical TSU night. Like they say, this is a team that you don't know who's gonna step up night in and night out and score the points, but they got 21 points from Etienne, 5 rebounds for him, 1 assist, 1 steal, 14 points from PJ Henry. He had 5 rebounds, 2 assists on the night, 16 points from John Walker, also off the bench, 6 rebounds for him. Bryson Grissom had 6 blocks on the night and 6 points, where he was a dominant force inside. 13 rebounds on the night for him. Nicholas, 7 points, 5 rebounds. He had a block, 2 blocks for AJ Lawson, also 6 points and 5 rebounds. TSU shot 41% from the field in this game, 30% from 3, 74% from the line, which, coming into the tournament, free throw shooting was one of TSU's Achilles heels. They actually shot the ball pretty decently from the free throw line in this game. They finished with 45 rebounds, so they out rebounded Corpus Christi by 8, 9 assists, 4 steals, 9 blocks, and 15 turnovers. They did commit 18 fouls, but those 9 blocks were very big in this game. They really just changed the direction and course of a lot of shots from the Islanders. Anything that came inside, they kind of sent it back, and they did a really good job of controlling the inside and forcing this team to kind of go away from what they may want to do. And that's one of the things that's really hard for a team in a situation when they're not really used to facing shot blockers, is to compete against shot blockers. And Bryson Grisham really had a huge game in this tournament, in the first 4 setting, especially as they were able to take control of this game and pick up a very, very good victory, their third first 4 victory on the season. Their third first 4 victory since they've been in the tournament. So another big victory for them in this setting. Hopefully, with some more wins out of conference and some better performances in conference, our teams can avoid this and get some better seeding as the tournament as they move forward in the future. After beating Corpus Christi, TSU went on to face the number 1 seed, Kansas Jayhawks, and they lost this game by a score of 83-56. Second half, TSU played a kind of a stalemate with them, but first half, Kansas went to the half up 47-19, and they really just had their way with TSU in this game. The tempo just got away from TSU. They just could not make shots. Kansas could not miss. When you play on a team like Kansas, you really have to be able to shoot the ball well. You have to defend well. You have to, set your mark on this game. And TSU was unable to do that. They got TSU was led by John Walker, who had 13 points. He was their only double-digit scorer. He had 3 rebounds on the night. Grisham 9 points, 4 rebounds, 6 rebounds for Lawson. And that's 8 points for John Jones off the bench. Not a great night for TSU. 32% shooting from the field, 21% from 3, 78% from the free throw line. They had 32 rebounds, 12 assists, 6 blocks, 6 steals, 16 turnovers, 14 fouls. Kansas, a balanced attack. They had 5 double-digit scorers led by Remy Martin off the bench. He had 15 points, 4 assists, 1 rebound, 2 steals. Big game for him off the bench. They expecting a lot more from him as the tournament goes on. 14 points from Braun. He had 5 rebounds, 4 assists, 11 points for Agbaji and Wilson. They each had 11 points apiece. Each had 6 rebounds, 3 assists for Wilson. And also Harris had 12 points, 2 rebounds, 3 assists, 2 steals. So Kansas shot 50% from the field, 47% from 3. They shot 44% from the free throw line. They were 4-9. But, they were scorching from the field over 50%. They were scorching from 3 at 47%. They just really shot the ball very well, 44 rebounds. So they out-rebounded TSU by 12. They had 13 offensive boards, 20 assists, 8 steals. They only had 1 block on the night. They had 15 turnovers and 21 fouls. So this was kind of, you really, you expect a hope to have maybe a closer outcome in a game like this. But, you come out and you play and you just let the chips fall where they may. But I thought TSU, maybe they were a little overwhelmed at the start. I thought they kind of were not really playing a good tempo. I thought they were playing a little bit too fast early. They were taking some shots that they probably should not have taken. I thought if they could play a little bit more in tune to what they do, at least size-wise, I thought they matched up well. But Kansas, they were hot shooting. And when you play on a team like that, it's really tough to beat them. And, they were hot, and TSU just could not, get over the hump, and that led to the margin that you saw. So still a good season by TSU. Not a bad season by any stretch. When you think about where this team was at the start of the SWAC season, sitting at basically at 1-3 after the first 4 games or so of the season. There's there's not a lot that a lot of people thought this team would not make it that far, and they were actually able to make it to the NCAA tournament. So nothing to be ashamed of, nothing to hang your head about, and you just continue to move forward. So that does it for the SWAC in the NCAA tournament. We also had a team in the NIT, and that's Alcorn. The Braves, who were the SWAC regular season champs, got knocked over in the SWAC championship by TSU. So that means by virtue of winning the SWAC regular season championship, they had a NIT bid automatically qualified in their back pocket. So they were able to extend their season and play in the NIT. They faced off against Texas A&M, the Aggies, on Tuesday, and they dropped a 74-62 decision. This game was tied at 27 at the half. Texas A&M took control of this game basically in the second half. I thought Alcorn played a really good first half. To be able to find yourself in a position to be tied in this game is a big factor, especially if you're playing on the road. This is not a neutral site game, so you're playing in somebody's home arena. You haven't really played that well on the road, especially out of conference, and you find yourself in a position where you can, come out and make a game of this, and you actually led this game by 3 points immediately after the half, before A&M was able to go on a run and start to pull away. So, again, this is just like the TSU Kansas game. This is nothing to be, you can, nothing to be ashamed about. You want to go out and play hard, and you want to win. But, when you allow a team to go on a run in the second half, they're going to pull away. You don't give these kind of teams those kind of opportunities to, impose their will and force you into what you don't want to do. But Alcorn, for a short turnaround as far as knowing who your opponent is and when you're playing, they did a very good job of coming out and, competing in this game. They got 20 points from Bruton. He had 6 rebounds, 4 assists, big game for him. 10 points from Otis Walker, 16 points from Linnell Henry. He had 10 rebounds. He had a double-double. Justin Thomas, who is their leading scorer, do-everything guy, he had 3 points on the night, 4 assists. So didn't get a great game from him. He fouled out as well. So that's a guy that, you kind of go as he goes. Not being able to get a lot of points from him really hurts. They only got 7 points off the bench. So not a great bench effort as well. But to say those factors that you look at, this team was still in this game. They shot 38% from the field, 38% from 3, and 55% from the free throw line. All that considered, to lose by 12 on the road to a Texas A&M team that was basically hot coming into this tournament. This team was 14-4 at home as well. So this is, all these factors add up to a pretty good game for Alcorn. And the fact they only lost by 12, playing the way that they did, that really, shows the effort that this team put out. 38 rebounds on the night, 16 assists, 6 steals, 2 blocks, 16 turnovers, 20 fouls. And was led by Radford with 14 points. He also had 14 rebounds, so he had a double-double. 12 points for Taylor. He had 3 rebounds, 3 assists. 12 points off the bench for Diarra. He had 8 of 8 shooting from the free throw line, so he did all his damage from the free throw line. 1 rebound, 2 assists, 10 points for Jackson. Quentin Jackson, 3 rebounds, 3 assists for him, 2 steals, 2 blocks. A&M shot 41% from the field, 20% from 3, 92% from the free throw line. That's always going to be a big difference. 26 to 28, 36 rebounds. Alcorn won the rebounding battle by 2, 14 assists, 9 steals, 6 blocks, 13 turnovers, and 13 fouls. So not a lot of fouls in this game, 29 total fouls. So the referees, swallowed their whistles and actually let the game be played between the two teams. And Alcorn, I thought they did a good job in this game. So nothing to hang your head about, nothing to be ashamed about. Yes, you want to win. Yes, you want to, advance in a tournament like this. But, you came out and you represented yourself well with your leading scorer fouling out and only scoring 3 points. So nothing to hang your head about. The Braves will be back. Coach Bussey, only in his second year. This team won the SWAC regular season and played for the tournament championship with a team that was picked to finish 8th in the season when the season started. So they're only going to go up. Yeah, they're losing a few guys, but I know they're gonna recruit well and get themselves back on track. So SWAC basketball on the men's side is definitely still gonna be a meat grinder. Um, Next season, the women's side, who's gonna be able to step up to challenge JSU? I know Southern played them relatively close a couple of times. TSU played them close. TSU is losing coach Cynthia Cooper Dyke. So that's going to be a big replacement. What can they bring in to fill in those huge shoes at that coaching position? Alabama State and Alabama A&M were there. So there's teams that that are going to battle to face JSU, but can those teams take a step to compete with JSU consistently? That's going to be the issue that we face moving forward on the women's side. There were two coaching jobs come open on the men's side of things. Jackson State's head coach, former head coach Wayne Brent, he stepped down, retired from the position. So JSU brought in Alabama State's former coach Mo Williams to take over. Mo Williams is a Jackson, Mississippi native. His dad went to JSU. His family still lives in JSU. He went to Alabama, of course, played for the Cleveland Cavaliers for many years. Had a 52-point game in the league. Big time scorer, just a crazy shooter for his a point guard. And he didn't have the greatest season at Alabama State, but they were recruiting well. They had a couple of big time guys coming in for this upcoming season. So I think he should be a good fit at JSU. He wants to be at JSU. He's a Jackson guy. He wants to, boost up the home team. Coach Brent did not have, a great team this season. His teams have always been defensive oriented. Offensively, they've been hit or miss. So that's something I know JSU wants to improve on, is a better offensive team and just being more competitive game in and game out in conference. We'll see if Coach Williams can do that. Valley hired a guy who is a Valley guy. They hired George Ivory to replace Lindsey Hunter, who was fired, I guess, let go, however you want to say it. George Ivory becomes the 12th head coach at Valley. He played at Valley. He was a class of '88 guy. He left Valley in '88. He led the team. He led the program in steals and assists. He coached at Pine Bluff for, I think, 13 years. He came on in the summer at Valley in an administrative role, and then he stepped in as the interim coach when the situation went on with Lindsey Hunter. So this is a guy that he knows what it takes to compete at Valley. He's won at Valley as a player. He knows what it takes to win there. He knows what you're gonna get, what to expect from there. He was a 5-year assistant at Valley before going to Pine Bluff in 2008. He led Pine Bluff to an NCAA tournament in 2010, and he won 127 games in 13 seasons at Pine Bluff. So he's a guy that knows how to coach in the SWAC. He knows what it takes. So I think both of these hires, I think, are good for each program as they try to kind of rebuild their stature in the league. Valley, I always feel like Valley's sport to compete in is basketball. They've had the most success in basketball. And when Valley is dangerous at basketball, that's a tough place to play. And JSU the same. When JSU is clicking in basketball, you don't want to play at Jackson, and you don't want to play against that team because they can get athletes. Jackson, Mississippi is full of athletes. If you look, over the course of the years at multiple SWAC teams, a lot of talent that played on those teams came from the city of Jackson. So you really want to see those kind of teams be back on top, so that can only make the SWAC even tougher. Like I said, TSU is going to be what they are. Alcorn's going to be a team that continues to improve. Southern's going to, be a team that's always in the mix. Prairie View is going to be probably back to where they should be. You got FAMU who had a very good season and returning some key guys. Bethune-Cookman, they're recruiting well. And, Grambling, the SWAC is going to be a dogfight. And, having a team like Valley get better and a team like JSU get better is only going to make it even tougher. So, we wait to see what happens in the future with SWAC basketball. So now we're going to just take a quick dip into football. We're not going to go too in depth. I just wanted to kind of run through the dates of these spring games because spring practice is going on at most schools right now. So we're going to keep an eye out on spring games. And like I said, in the upcoming weeks, I'll probably go through each team and just kind of talk about, what they lost, what they're returning, those kind of things as we get ready for the upcoming season. Spring is a huge time in football. You get 15 practices. If you got a new coaching staff, then that's, your introduction to your players. If you're losing a lot of guys, this is a chance to, find guys. Maybe guys can win some positions now, or maybe they can position themselves to win a battle in the early part of fall camp. So looking at the dates of the spring games, Alabama A&M spring game is actually on the 26th of March. They started practice the earliest out of everybody in the SWAC. They've been practicing for a while now. Excuse me. So their spring game is on March 26th. Alabama State spring game is April 23rd at 2 p.m. Alcorn, April 9th. They also have their junior day recruiting time on April 9th, excuse me. So if you're a guy that's looking to visit Alcorn as a junior class of 23 kid, then this is, a great time to go there and meet the staff and, get the tour and all of that kind of stuff. Bethune-Cookman, I have no information on. I haven't seen anything. I checked their website, checked their Twitter, their Instagram, nothing. So if anybody knows anything about Bethune-Cookman, man, let me know. I want to put that out there. I don't really, I'm not really a fan of the way that social media is right now, but they got time to improve. But right now, information is tough coming out of there. I do know they have a new offense coordinator, Mike Canellis. He's a guy that's been around for years. Really, really good offensive mind coming in to run their offense. So that's a good move on their part. One of my friends actually knows him from out of California. So that's the guy I know he's going to be eager to see coach at Bethune-Cookman. Gramblin's spring game is April 2nd, and their junior day is also on that day. So to keep an eye out on that. They also have some big alumni activities also on that day. So there's going to be a huge, huge deal off of Exit 81 up there in Grambling on April 2nd. JSU spring game is Sunday, April 24th at 5 p.m. ESPNU broadcast. That's huge for, Jackson State. That's huge for the SWAC. I mean, we've talked about this multiple times in many ways. This is the prime effect. Ain't nothing wrong with that. Everybody should know that these kind of moves would not have been made if a coach like Deion Sanders was not at Jackson State. That's not a knock on anybody. That's just the truth. And you just need to take advantage of these exposure opportunities. And JSU has a nice chance to showcase their program in their school on, in the spring game. So, that's a big move. That's a great look. I'm happy for JSU, and I'm expecting. I'm going to be tuned in and watching that. FAMU's game is April 9th. A lot of games on April 9th. Valley's game is also on April 9th. Prairie View's game is April 23rd. That's a Saturday. Their junior day is also that day. So, get out there and meet Coach McDowell if you're a young prospect, 2023 prospect. Get out there, meet the staff, and, tour the facilities and all of that. Southern Spring game is April 9th. They just started spring practice on Monday, I believe. So, Coach Dooley, his first spring game at Southern is on April 9th. Don't have a time for that yet, but when I do, I'll put that out there. TSU, I don't have any information, but I know that they're practicing now. So if anybody has an idea when their spring game is, let me know. I'll put that out. At Pine Bluff, they have a nice thing scheduled for their spring game. Their spring game is on Friday, April 22nd. They have like a flag football game before, and then the spring game is Friday night at 7 p.m. So, if you're in the Pine Bluff area, man, why don't you get up there and check that out on April 22nd. check out what Coach Gamble got going on, and let us know. They're practicing right now too, so we'll keep an eye out on any reports that we get from that. And that's pretty much where we stand right now. I just wanted to run through the spring game dates and kind of give you an idea of what to, when everybody's game is going to be, because spring games are probably the biggest part of spring practice. If you're a fan, it gives you the opportunity to watch your team play. As we get closer to some of these dates, if I find out the formats of some of these games, I'll let you know. Because everybody runs their spring games differently. So if I have any idea of a format, I'll let you know. So that's gonna do it for this show, man. I'm thrilled to be in the house as usual. This tour is over. Tour around the SWAC is over. We'll be back on Wednesday with another edition of SWAC Talk. Thursday, SWAC Smoke live as usual, 6 p.m. Central, 7 p.m. Eastern. Sunday, another edition of SWAC Talk. And if anything happens in between, I will be here. So with that being said, man, I'm your boy C Wells. I'm signing out, and y'all have a good weekend. Peace.